Are you at a point in your life where you're giving everything to your passion, to your dreams, but it feels like you're getting nothing in return? Are you starting to wonder if it's all even worth it? If maybe, just maybe, you should throw in the towel and take a different path? Then you need to hear this story, because I'm about to show you why better days might be a lot closer than you think. In all my years of watching combat sports, I don't think I've ever seen a stronger case for patience, self-belief, and sheer perseverance than Jorge Masvidal's MMA career. This is a guy that showed us if you stick to what you truly love, if you push through when it feels like nothing is working, something amazing can happen. And not just good, I mean life-changing, career-defining, put your name in history, kind of amazing. But here's the thing, that payoff, for some people, it might come right away. For others, it might not come in a year, not in 5 years, not even in 10 years. For some, it takes almost 2 decades of hard work before it all finally clicks. And Jorge Masvidal is proof of that. Now, Masvidal didn't exactly grow up in the easiest environment. Even without going into all the details, just look at where he ended up by the time he was 17 years old, fighting in Kimbo Slice's backyard street fights in Miami. That alone tells you everything you need to know. Jorge wasn't just some guy trying out street fights for fun. Fighting was his life. It was the one thing he gravitated toward. So he decided to take it to the next level. He started training at gyms, learning the skills he needed to compete in the newly forming sport of MMA. And when he finally turned pro, he got off to a hot start. 5 straight wins. But then reality hit. Reality hit like a bitch. Loss. Win. Loss. 8 wins in a row. Loss. 3 wins. Loss. 2 wins. Loss. 1 win. Loss. 2 more wins. Loss. This is the roller coaster that is the fight game. And this is when I first started hearing about Jorge Masvidal. He battled his way up through some of the biggest MMA promotions and made it to the biggest one, the UFC. And you'd think, he finally made it to the UFC. It's just a matter of time before he's a superstar. He could be a superstar damn near in the next 2 months. Yeah, it didn't work out like that. In the UFC, if you can put together 3 big wins in a row, you might be 1 fight away from a title shot. For 7 years, Masvidal put up 2 separate 3-fight win streaks, but each time he lost the next fight. And in those 7 years, he lost 4 fights by split decision. 4. If you've ever had a big break damn near in your grasp, and then you lost it, you know how he was feeling.
It burns. It burns like fucking STD, man.
I wouldn't know.
He was right there on the edge of something big, but it kept slipping away from him. And by 2018, Jorge Masvidal was a good fighter, a UFC fighter, a gatekeeper, a recognizable name, a staple in the UFC, but really nothing more. And after 15 years in the game, that's kind of a tough spot to be in. So tough, in fact, that he started to consider leaving the sport. In 2017, he stepped away from MMA to compete in a reality show. 16 months without a fight.
It was terrible experience. He's by himself all day, no phone. He had to go into the village to get food. There's no fucking food. The experience was several months, and it was a disaster. It forced him to think about where he's at, where he could be. And one of the things he was saying is like all these split decisions. And he was thinking like, why did it go that way instead of the other way? Like, why did I lose that fight instead of win it? Because there was a lot of them that are really close.
Yeah.
And he was thinking, maybe I could just have done a little bit more and won that fight. And then he said, why am I thinking like a fucking peasant? He goes, why didn't I just knock that motherfucker out?
When he came back, he had no idea that his life was about to drastically change. First, he knocked out a young and promising Darren Till.
What a finish for Jorge Masvidal!
Jorge Masvidal gets a massive knockout win here in London. He silences the crowd.
Wow!
And then, just 4 months later, the knee. The knee.
Game Bread is in the building, and these guys just flapping guns at each other.
The knee seen billions and billions of times around the world. The fastest knockout in UFC history. In a fight he was supposed to lose. And just like that, the world started paying attention. People realized who he was. People saw how special his story was. And people finally understood just how big of a star Masvidal always had the potential to be. 16 years into his career, 35 years old, and he finally made it. And the timing, it couldn't have been better. Because after that fight, the UFC did something they'd never done before. They created a brand new belt just for Masvidal versus Nate Diaz, the BMF belt.
Determine who is the BMF of the Octagon.
Look for him to open up with something wild. Some good shots in the clinch.
Nice how the lands.
Nate's hurt. Nate's hurt.
Got a kick. Trying to survive here early. Big first minute for Masvidal.
And he's not hurt too bad anymore, I don't think. We'll see though. Oh, he's hurt. He got him again. He got him
Diaz
again.
covering up.
Those are heavy punches.
Doctor in to check on the cut of Nate Diaz. Doctor's waving it off.
No way. What?
Wow.
No way.
Dana White immediately out of his seat. Certainly an anticlimactic end to this BMF title fight, but Masvidal was brilliant tonight.
Jorge Masvidal.
And let's be honest here, guys. Nate Diaz was a recognizable name, a big name in the sport. But if it wasn't for that 5-second knee from Jorge Masvidal, he wouldn't be fighting Nate Diaz for the belt. The belt wouldn't even exist. That knee changed the trajectory of his entire life. He went on to fight for the UFC title, and while he didn't win, he at least finally got the opportunity. In the big picture, he won. Because after years of struggling, of almost quitting, of wondering if it was all worth it, he had finally cemented his place in history. Jorge Masvidal's story is a reminder that hard work always pays off. It happens when you least expect it to. Maybe for you, the breakthrough comes next year. Maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years, or maybe, just like Masvidal, it takes 16 years before you finally get what you deserve. But if you quit too soon, if you give up before the moment happens, you'll never know just how close you really were. So keep pushing.
I don't know what is it they call it, the UFC bug or whatever.
Octagon jitters.
The octagon jitters. Got him out the way, and I like it, man. This is gonna be my home for a long time.
Thanks for watching, guys. I just really wanted to make this video because when I think about, times when I feel like giving up maybe on anything I'm pursuing and putting all my time into that I like to do, I just think of Jorge Masvidal and how he hit the peak of his career at such an old age in the sport of MMA. And it took him, all that time to finally do it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Leave a comment. See you guys.